YouTube, and welcome to my first video. I thought I'd try this outside. It's a beautiful day, living up here in the Midwest. Global warming hasn't quite come our way yet, so we don't get a whole lot of days like this early in the year. So I just thought I'd come out here and enjoy it. First and foremost, let me say thank you to the Thoughtful Atheist for agreeing to have this conversation with me. When I joined YouTube about a month and a half, 2 months ago, my intention was never to get involved in anything like this. I didn't even know this stuff was going on. Like I said, I live in the Midwest. We don't got a whole lot to do up here. Watching the atheist versus Christian arguments on YouTube wasn't my thing. So I actually joined just for music. I wanted to be able to share some of my guitar playing with others, people, family members that wanted to see it, so I could upload it to Facebook and MySpace and stuff like that. So that was my original intention. Unfortunately, I found some of the debates, I guess you could call them, going on between Christians and atheists on YouTube, and got into a short discourse conversation with Thoughtful Atheist, and he agreed to this, to a video conversation. So here it goes. A lot of videos have been going around lately about the moral lawgiver, who is the ultimate authority if there is no God. And Jesus Freak 777 recently posted that question and was going to respond to all the video answers, and I'm not sure if he ever did or if he responded privately or whatever. But there was this one response that I found that seemed to kind of grasp all the other ones, that seemed to kind of encompass them all. His was basically a version of the golden rule: do unto others as you'd have done unto you. His was do nothing that causes needless harm. And on the surface, that sounded like, a pretty good idea. It was a good take on an old thought, and it was kind of original. I hadn't heard it quite put that way. So I thought about it for a few minutes, and it dawned on me: who decides what's needless? When you have needless harm, if you have harm, period, some might think it's needless, some might not. An example would be, say, let's take abortion, for instance. If you ask the mother that's about to go through this abortion, she's got a million reasons. To her, it's probably not needless. She can't support it. She's not ready for a baby. She was raped, whatever it is. But if you ask that child that knows nothing about what's going on outside, to that child, it's probably needless harm. On the other hand, let's look at something a little bit grander scale, a little bit bigger. Take Nazi Germany, for instance. When you say needless harm to the people that were being destroyed, to the Jews that were being burnt in furnaces and dying slow starvation, painful deaths, to them, that was probably pretty needless. But to the Nazis themselves, they were trying to further a better race or whatever, trying to purge their society of its ills. So to them, it wasn't quite what you would call needless. It was a method to their madness, at least in their minds. So I guess my ultimate question then is, if you don't have that ultimate authority, like right now, we have history to look back, and we can look at it with the eye of morality, but the only reason we have it is because we have the side that won. What would life be like? What would our morality be like if Nazi Germany had won and Japan had destroyed America as it set out to do? What would be our reality today? What would be our moral reality today? It wouldn't, in my opinion, wouldn't be the same as we see right now. So let's broaden the whole question here. Okay, if you don't have a moral authority, if you're going to go with a societal, then which part of society gets to decide? Because, we all have different views. I mean, look at the stuff with Carrie Prejean and Perez Hilton lately. You've got a whole crowd of people that have decided that Carrie Prejean is nasty and hateful, and she's a homophobe, and she's this and she's that, and then you got a whole other sect of society that says, no, she was talking about her beliefs. They asked for her opinion on something, and she gave her opinion. If you don't want her opinion, don't ask for it. I kind of fit into that category, regardless of how I feel about gay marriage. You know, if you don't want somebody's opinion, don't ask for it. I don't remember anybody asking for Perez Hilton's opinion. I'm getting way off topic here, so let me get down to the meat of my question to you, Thoughtful Atheist. I guess my broad question then is, who decides society's morality? If we all decided that murder was cool if it was justified, and that was society's morality, then, you know, what makes that righteous? What makes that right? Let's get down to the meat. Let's get down to what we really need to talk about here, and that is, we know with a God, and you can pick any God. You don't have to. We can leave God, Christian God, out of this all you want. With a God, any God, or gods for that matter, if you have laws and rules, and more moral laws and rules, you also have moral laws and punishments that come for lack of following those moralities. Whereas in society, there's no punishment for immorality. Case in point, let's take the Amazing Atheist. How does he end every video? Peace out. You know, okay. That's okay. So it's not hurting anybody. It's not immoral. But what if your 6-year-old kid clicks on YouTube and sees this guy peacing the F out to everybody? You know, is this the guy that you want your kids watching on YouTube? Is this the guy that you want to help decide societal morality? And there's been a lot of controversy around Venom Fang X lately. But how many times and in how many videos did he say either God bless you, or I love you all, or something to that effect? Does that make him more moral than anybody else? Nah, he's not better than anybody else. And I'm not saying that anybody is better than anybody else. What I am saying, the question I'm trying to ask is not so much who's the moral lawgiver, but when you don't have a moral lawgiver, you don't have punishment for immorality. And in fact, you could even reward immorality. And when you don't have a moral lawgiver, when society is a moral lawgiver, then society gets to decide your punishment. And if society is deciding your punishment, are they punishing you out of fear? Are they punishing you out of respect? Are they punishing you out of love? Because let's face it, most punishments are to learn a lesson and to grow from it. You know, there's always, you know, prison. Our prison system was set up to punish for the crime you did, but also for rehabilitation, so you can get back into our society and function and survive and be a productive part of it. But when you break a moral laws and legal laws are two different things. You know, when you go against morality, you're not always breaking legality. So here's my question, and I'm open to your thoughts. If I'm not an atheist, so I haven't thought atheism all the way through from beginning to end. You probably have some insight that I don't have, which I would assume then that I have some insight on Christianity and Jesus Christ that possibly you don't have. So ultimately the question then is, if you go without a moral lawgiver, if you're going to survive without a moral lawgiver or a moral authority, and you're going to do it societally, who then decides the punishments, and how do you make the punishments fit the crime equally? Okay, so that's basically my first video, my first spoken word video. I do thank you for watching, and I'll be back. That's taken. How about peace? Nope, can't do that. How's about take it to the back? Sorry, Brock, just kidding. I wouldn't steal that from you. How about I'm Jason, he's the reprieve. Love everybody.